Okay, I have created a class here, and as I shown, I have initialized four variables here. This username and phone number are instance variables, and this country and country code are static variables, and I have assigned with some value. And this is a non-static method since we don't have the static keyword here, and I have assigned this instance variable with a value here. Okay, and I'm printing that. And similarly, this method is a non-static method assigning a value to an instance variable. I am printing the phone number here, and these two are static method. You can see the static keyword. Okay, I have assigned for the method. I'm just printing the value of the country and country code. Okay, now this is a static method, right? So let us try to access this uh, non-static method inside this. Let's try. See, it will not allow. It will ask you to change to static because a non-static members cannot be accessed inside a static method without creating an object. So that was the first point we have seen. A static method that belongs to the class area, so it got created in the method area when you run the program, and that is a single copy of memory allocation. And here you can see the static members you can access. Static methods and other things you can access without creating an object, but non-static members you cannot create it without an object. Okay, so you have to create an object here. So user details, let us create an object here. User obj equal to new user details, and using this object let us try to call this one. So you can see here the phone number, username or variables which we can access using the object, and inside a static. Okay, this is a static method, and the even the non-static methods also we can access. Okay, so now let me assign a value for that from here to the phone number variable. Okay, so this is an instance variable, right? So let me assign some value, and I will print this here. Here you can see this method has been accessed, and we are printing this phone number is this value comes from here, correct? So this value comes from here. We have assigned a value and we are printing it. So this method has been called. This is a non-static method called using an object, and here you can see the phone number I am assigning to some other value, and I am trying to print that one. I can access and it is getting printed properly. And now let me try to call a static method here. Okay, so let us call this two static methods, country co display country and display country code. See, it will not throw any error because a static, this is a static method, right? So you can call the static members inside a static without creating an object itself. And if you want to access this country as well, just print this here. Okay, yeah, country code also you can print it. So now let's run this program, and here you can see the country is India. So this method has been called display country, and it is printing this statement. And next this method is called and it is printing this statement, and I'm able to access the static variables as well inside a static method. Okay, so this is the first difference which we have seen here, the first point which we have seen, right? So a non-static method, the static method. Now we will see a non-static method. Say for example this is a non-static method, right? So let me try to call this static method inside this one. I'm trying to call the static method display country. See, it will not throw any error. So as I said, it must not have a static keyword, and it can access all static data members and non-static data members. So a non-static method can access all static data and non-static as well. And now let's try to print this value country also. Okay, and let us print the country code also here. Okay, so now this method we'll call it here, user obj display phone number. Okay, running this program here, and here you can see this last one, right? It goes here, it calls the this method display username method, and it is printing this here, username is Dinesh. And after that, this display country method is called, it goes here, and it is printing this value, country is India. Okay, this country value from where it is taking from here. And next we are printing this statement by calling this static variable inside a non-static method. So you can see it got printed here properly. So this is why we said you can call all static and non-static members inside a non-static method. Okay. Okay, the second point is in static method less memory is used for execution. Okay, since the single copy is created at the class area, the memory allocation happens only at once, and it is good for memory management. But here it is called during every time. Okay, for non-static methods. So this is the point that I have showed in the diagram itself. And now the point 3. Uh, let's come to the static block first. Okay. So if you need to initialize your static variables, you can use the static block. So what I will do here is let me initialize this values inside a static block. Okay. A static block is nothing but just you need to give a static and to open a flower bracket. Okay. And now you can initialize this value inside that. Any you can group all static variables and you can assign it inside a static block. So that's why for that reason we will use this static block, and here I will remove this values. Okay, so now we have assigned the values for this one inside a static block, and for initializing the variable values for instance variable values we will create a constructor here. So constructor, it should be created using the constructor name. This we will see it in a detail because constructor it's a wide topic, and we will see this in detail. Okay, and now let us give this username. We'll give the same thing here. Okay, let's cut this and put it here. Okay, so now I'm giving the value inside a constructor, and the other value is phone number, right? So we'll cut this one and we'll put it inside a constructor here. So this is how we create a constructor. Okay, user details, the constructor name should be the class name. Okay, and I'm assigning the instance variables values inside a constructor, static variable values inside a static block. All right, so now let's use this user obj. Okay, and we'll call all these methods: user display username and display phone number dot display. Where it is. Okay, so you don't want an object, so you can call a static method using an object. So let's see what happens. It will throw an warning. So you can see here static method, it should be called in a static way. Okay, so either you should remove this object and you have to call this, else you need to put the class name and you can call the static methods. See? So now it will not throw any error. Okay, you can call in this way also. So this is also an important point. Okay, so using an object you cannot call, it will throw an warning. Okay, so now we have called all these methods. So this is something different, country code we need to call. Okay, so now you can see country code. Okay, so let's run this program now and you can see all these methods will get executed. See here, just we had the print statement alone and I'm assigning the values from a constructor here. For non-static it is printing properly. Similarly for phone number, and for a static method we have this and we have assigned the value inside a static block here, right? So it gets executed from here. So the other thing what I told, this is also initialized during the class load and it gets stored in the class area. So for that let me give an example, like I'll print here static loads during class, and let us print the constructor. Constructor gets constructor gets invoked for all objects created. Okay, so constructor spelling is wrong. Okay, right. So this constructor will get invoked when an object is created for a class. It can be if you create three objects, then three times this constructor will get loaded. But the static blocks loads only at the class load. The first time it gets loaded and gets stored in the method area or class area. So we'll see this one now. I will create another object here. Okay, to show that constructor gets load for every object. I'll create an object like user obj1. Okay, now let's run this program. Okay, so now you can see it gets only displayed once. Okay, so this static, it will get identified and it will load during the class load itself, and it is getting stored in the class area or method area, and after that this will not get loaded. So but the constructor, whenever an object is created in the heap, it gets invoked. Okay, so that's why there are two objects here, so it gets invoked two times. Okay, and even if you're changing the position here, the same thing will happen, because static, it will identify first, and before anything happens, this static thing will get loaded in the class area. All the static block, static methods, and static variables, everything will get initialized in the first class load itself. Okay, so here you can see the same thing happens. Okay, the next point, the last point which we left out is the static methods cannot be overridden. Okay, because this is created during the compile time and the non-static can be overridden. So this we will see with an example of inheritance. Okay, so I have created another class called child class, and I'm extending the user details. So this is the parent class. So the inheritance concept in detail we'll see it later. For now, to show an example, I'm just creating an child class here. Okay, so let's call the same method. So overriding a method is nothing but you have to call the same method in your child class. So we have created here, and let's print this overridden or something. Okay, so this is the print statement. Inside this, display username. This is a non-static method, and here I'm taking this as a static method. I'm creating it here. Let's see, country is not overridden, something like that we will give it. Okay, and let's create an object for this user details. Okay, for this parent class I'm creating an object user, user will be equal to new, and we will call this two method here. The first one is the display username, that is a non-static, so we are calling through an object. The second one is the display country, correct? So now we are calling this using the parent class object. Okay, so don't get confused on this one, because without knowing the inheritance concept it will be confusing for you. But just to show how it is getting overridden for non-static and it is not getting overridden for static, I'm showing this example. So now if you run this program, okay, so here you can see username is Dinesh. Okay, here the print statement is username is overridden, so it should come right, but it is not getting displayed here. So this overrides. Okay, so this one is overriding because the object has been created for user details. So this method is getting overridden and it is displaying here. Okay, but for the static, you can see the child class we are creating country is not overridden and that is getting displayed. Okay, so here you can see this method object is created for this class, right? So this only should get displayed, but since it is a static method, it is not getting displayed, and it will not overwrite. Okay, so this one only will get displayed. All right. Okay, now we'll see when to use static methods and non-static methods. Okay, so let's see when to use static methods. So if you're creating a utility class, okay, some common functions and that are not going to change, at that time you need to go for a static methods. Okay, so if it is not going to change and this is going to be used by many classes, then you have to go for a static method. And if the method is not using any instance variable or method, okay, then you can go for a static method. For example, here if you are trying to access this username, this is a non-static variable, right? So that if you are trying to access inside this static method, you can see it will throw an error. Okay, you have to create an object, as I said. And if you are trying to access an instance, sorry, non-static method, it is going to throw an error, and you have to create an object for this class, and then you have to access this using. So this is unnecessary, right? So instead of that, you can just so instead of this one, you can just go and change this method to non-static. If you are going to access an instance, you have any instance dependent. Okay, this is one point. And the next point, if the method is not required to be overridden at any circumstances. Okay, so if this method needs to be overridden in your child class or somewhere, then you don't create this as a static, because if you create it as a static, then you will not be able to override that method that I have shown you as an example now. Okay, so this is the major difference between static and non-static. And static and non-static variables also has some points that I have clearly explained in the variable types of Java video. So you can please go and watch that one for getting the difference between the static and non-static variables. And I think this is how it works, and thanks for watching this video.